Hello and welcome back to the worst Warmachine channel on the internet. I'm Malorian and this is Malorian Weekly. Now, this topic is going to be really weird for me to talk about because it's going to come across as really self-serving. I swear to God, this is one where a couple of months ago when I was asking for topics, somebody brought up and said, Malorian, can you talk about this? And now I'm going to try and have to present this in a very awkward way because what our topic is today is encouraging content creators. So automatically I'm coming across as like, oh, please give me likes and love and, please do something to help me out. But I don't want this to be a focus on me. And I think as I explain this, you're going to kind of see where I'm coming from and why this is so important. So let's start things off by talking about what are these content creators. Now, if I talk about Warmachine content creators, your mind might jump to Night Machine, Line of Sight, maybe it goes to things like Chain Attack, these big people that are out there making this fantastic content, making lots of content. Whenever somebody goes out there and says, hey, where should I go to for this? First thing to your mind, like, oh, you should be going to these people because they're the number one. And that's great. It's great that we have these people out there that are almost like Warmachine celebrities that are the people that you send people to first. However, content creators are a wide range, and there is many people that are out there trying to make content. Now, why are they doing this? They're doing this because they love this hobby, they love this community, and they either want to share their love, they want to, get some enjoyment from teaching people and seeing that they're doing some good for the community. Whatever it is, they're going above and beyond to provide something to you, to provide a service to the community. And it's not for no cost to them, right? Whether they're investing money in getting equipment or buying other editing programs or just the time and the mental effort to go through and edit something and to plan out like, okay, what am I going to do for content next week? Like, there is a lot that goes into a content creator. Now, here's the thing on the other side is that once you make this content and put it out there, it's not always as rewarding as you once hoped. When it comes to making content, sometimes I put videos out there and I'll see a comment that says something like, yeah, man, Malorian, this is fantastic. I was wondering how to do this and you explained it to me. Thank you. Or maybe I see somebody coming in from our own local community. It's like, oh yeah, I saw your content, got me interested, and now I want to play. Man, that feels fantastic. To know that I brought people into the community, that I'm helping people, that is a huge thumbs up. However, that is probably a very small minority compared to what normally happens. A lot of times content will go out and I won't hear anything. And even worse yet, sometimes I put lots of effort into something and it goes out there and then I don't get any response whatsoever, even in terms of views, something that I really put mental effort in. I've been thinking about this topic for like a month, thinking about how I'm going to present it, thinking about how I'm going to edit. I probably recorded it a couple times just to get it right, did all the editing, make up a nice little thumbnail, put it out there, and swing and a whiff, and it doesn't do anything. And I mean, that's nothing against really the viewers, right? I mean, the viewers are going to go and see what they want to see. I do not expect you to go and see everything. However, it's important to realize this when you start thinking about that in this world of content creators, there are basically the haves and the have-nots. And even though we kind of talked about these Warmachine celebrities that are the go-to people, well, really, when you look at the majority of what our content creators are making, well, most of the content is coming from not the celebrities. It's everybody else. You got this group over here and they're making these battle reports. You got this group over here and they're doing painting videos. Oh, they're doing a blog over here. Oh, they're doing this over here. And there's all these little content creators that they aren't the big celebrities, But they're doing that work, again, for the same reasons, because they love it, they want to put it out there, but they're really, then at that point, trying to face the question, probably on a weekly basis, if not daily basis, of, is it worth my time? Again, they put something into this. They spent their time thinking this out, their time creating it, editing it, putting it out there for you. And if you get too many swings and misses, well, at some point you wonder if it's even worth doing. And again, maybe that's going to be okay, because, just like how the best companies will be the ones that succeed, the best content creators are the ones that are going to be getting more views and more subscribers and growing. However, if we ignore all these other ones and don't give them anything, well, what can happen is that some of our celebrities, as they kind of move on to other things, we're not really left with anything else. Before we had like Night's Machine and Line of Sight kind of stand up, and we had Chain Attack leave, and Wargamer Girl leave, and Hand Cannon leave, and some others, a whole bunch of podcasts leave. There was like a vacuum of like, well, what do we go to now? And it can be very easy then for a new person coming in being like, oh, well, where do I go for content? And then you have to kind of tell them like, oh, well, you can go see Chain Attack, but they're not really doing stuff anymore, which makes them kind of ask like, oh, is the game dead? And that's where I think like a lot of these kind of things happen, is that people are going out, and whenever they Google like Warmachine content, the celebrities will show up, and then they'll look at the channels and realize, oh, they haven't made anything for like a year. Oh man, this game's dead. And that's a problem. So that's where it kind of gets more important for us as a community to share the love a little bit more. And in that way, we just have a better fail-safe should these, awesome celebrities move on as time goes on. Now, what do I mean by spreading the love? What am I actually asking you to do? Well, I think one of the things that's really simple to do is just some very simple engagement. If you can go on to somebody's video and just write a little comment saying like, oh, that was awesome, thank you, or even just a thank you, or whatever it is, like these things can really then mean a lot to that content creator. Again, the biggest thing I'm trying to do from this is trying to spend my time to provide something to you that's going to give you value. And if it seems like it's not giving value, then it's not worth my time. If even just like one person on a video or a blog or whatever comes back and saying like, oh, that helped, thank you, well, then this is all of a sudden worth it, right? It'd almost be like the same thing as a cook, right? If I was always like cooking things and putting things out there and never hearing anything, like, are they just throwing in the trash? Do they not like it? Man, should I even be a cook? And it's so easy on things like YouTube or Facebook or anything like that to just be like, oh, there's content. Look at it, move on, and not realize that those small little things like leaving a like, going out there and writing that little comment can mean so much, especially to these smaller content creators. I mean, you can always go further and write larger comments, share their work, do whatever. I'm not saying you have to go all that far, but I'm just really trying to stress to you what this can mean. Now, I kind of want to then close off this video talking about where this is also kind of coming from. Now, for myself, I know there's been times where I've also been thinking the same thing, right? Sometimes I go and I make these videos and I put them out there and it's like, man, I thought this like Power Attack series was going to be just what the community wanted, but man, it looks like it was a whole swing and a miss. And that was 2 months worth of work and videos. Should I even be doing this? But I mean, like for me, this is something where I've like taken this on as like a separate hobby. I almost sometimes look forward more to making the videos than I do to go playing the game, right? So, I don't think you need to worry about me. So I'm not saying here like, oh, please, everybody go down and say thank you on my videos or else I'm gone. I'm not saying this for me. I'm saying this for the other content creators. In fact, the one that actually posted this on here, I know all the time. They're wondering, like, is it worth it? We've been chatting and they say, like, I don't know if it's really worth my time. You know, I don't know if all this effort, because I put so much effort into doing this, is it even worth it? And they have things going on in their lives. Their lives are, you know, I guess like a lot of people, pretty rocky right now. And again, like, in a rocky life, should I be spending time making this hobby content? And this little smidgens of going out there and support could be just what they need. One of the things that I do, and it's something that you might want to do too, is that when you go on YouTube and you're looking up your next Warmachine material, there's a filter there. And go and look to see what Warmachine material was made in the last week. Because again, if you go out there and you just go into YouTube and search for Warmachine, well, it's going to show you whatever the most popular videos are out there, no matter if they came from a year ago, 5 years ago. If it's the one with the most interactions and views, that's what comes up first. But if you're trying to figure out what's current and you're wanting to support the people that are making content right now, do that filter. Look to see what's out there and who's been making content in the last week. One of the things that I do to help you do that is, if you haven't noticed yet, every single time I do these Malorian Weeklies, down below there is a random Warmachine content link that I put down there, which is me doing exactly that. Me going on YouTube, searching up Warmachine, filtering for the last week, and I grab something and I throw it in there. And there is so many content creators out there. Again, when you ask somebody to name out the content creators, they might list one name, three names, who knows? But there are dozens of content creators, and the saddest thing about this, and I see this since I'm doing this search, is that they come and go. And maybe they come and go because they get into other games, or maybe they come and go because, like, hey, I just, like, I moved, I have a different life now, I don't have time for this. But from what I've heard from the content creators I've talked to, a lot of them come and go because they didn't get that one piece of feedback, that one time that somebody went on there and said, like, wow, thank you, this, or not even wow, just like, thank you, this, I liked this content. So keep that in mind. We are now coming out of the pandemic into a new age, and we need as many content creators as possible. We need people out there making, you know, posts on Facebook, making YouTube videos, making battle reports, making whatever they can, and they're only going to do that continuously if we support them. So, summing this all up from this little bit longer of a ranty video, go out there, see who you can see, and when you do see like this random content that's not someone that you normally would be putting up there as like, oh, a big content creator, take that time, put in that like, put in a fast comment, because I can promise you it means the world to them. And the more of these little content creators we have out there, the community will just be that much stronger. All right, with that said, please, normally I tell you to go down and make a comment in my video. Don't. I forbid you from making a comment on this video. My ask for you is to go out to some of that other random content and go make a comment on their video. So there you have it. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later. Bye.